Hi guys, it's Jacob. Let's stop studying English and let's focus on learning English in 2024. Here are 5 ways to help you guys with doing that. The most important thing for learning any language is vocabulary. When I was learning Japanese, I realized that if I don't have enough words to say to people or to use or understand, I'll never be able to have an actual conversation. So vocabulary. But we have to be careful because we only have so much room in our heads for vocabulary. So we can't learn every single word that we see. If you're learning English and you get a new list of new words that you want to remember, what I always do is I highlight them first. Highlight the ones that you think you can use. And then after you highlight those words, I try to make a sentence with each of those words. For example, one of the words I learned in Japanese is senbero,
なんで
which is 1000円でベロベロになれる店. And of course, this type of slang is not used by everyone, but that's one of the words I had highlighted when my friend said it. And I thought, how can I use this in a sentence? And then from there, the next step after putting it into a sentence is imagining yourself. Really imagine actually using the word. I'm at a tachinomi or a standing bar. I can use this word. もうせんべろ好きだよねとか、せんべろめっちゃいい感じ. So that's how I learned Japanese. Step 1, highlight words from a list that you think you can use. Number 2, make a sentence with that word. If you can't, just skip it. Just forget about that word. And number 3, imagine yourself in an actual situation using that with a friend or in public. And then just go and use that word and get practice using that word or that phrase. Number 2 is English only time. It's very important to make time for speaking, listening, reading, and writing, but you want to do it in a way that goes with your natural life. So for example, what I did with Japanese was in the supermarket, I always speak to myself. So instead of saying, oh, tomatoes are expensive, I would say, tomato takai. Instead of saying, oh, what should I make for dinner? I was saying, gohan nani tsukuro kana? And to me, I was actually speaking to myself. You don't have to speak out loud. Of course, it's embarrassing.
どっちの方がいいかな。ヘルシーだから whole wheat.
But at least whisper to yourself or think to yourself, oh, これは卵じゃなくて eggs. Oh my gosh, eggs are expensive. I need eggs for dinner tonight. For listening practice, I often do this when I'm folding laundry. So I listen to a podcast or I'll listen to Japanese music or I'll watch Japanese TV. This is for listening practice. It's very important to connect an activity to what you want to learn, what you want to study. So I'm folding laundry, that means it's listening practice time. For reading practice, it's the same. I do all of my reading on the train. I know a lot of you guys in Tokyo or Osaka take the train every single day. That's a great chance to start reading.
Okay.
I actually use a Kindle for my reading practice. I bring this on the train every single day. I get 20 to 30 minutes of reading while I'm in Tokyo. It's really light, super small, almost the same size as my cell phone. And these are only about $100, 1万円ぐらい. So anyone can buy this. This is a great gift if you want. I'll put a link here. You can buy on Amazon. This is not a sponsor. This is just something that I use every day. I love it. And of course, writing practice. Everyone hates writing, to be honest. The easiest way to practice writing, in my opinion, is make a diary or buy a journal. It's really easy at nighttime. Just write your thoughts that day in English. It could be 1 sentence, maybe 2 sentences. Just write some thoughts about that day in English. And that's your writing practice every single day. This is not studying. English is not studying. English is part of your lifestyle. It is something we use to communicate with others and communicate with the world around us. Do not forget that. Next point I have is just surround yourself with English as much as possible. So when you're at your house and you have free time, put on English music instead of Japanese music. Put on an English podcast instead of watching Japanese TV. YouTube is another really great way to learn English. There's so many great English teachers, but there's so many great just content creators on YouTube as well, like Mi-chan or Bilingual Chika-san. She makes great content. All you have to do is watch and you'll get your English content. You'll get your English flow for the day without even thinking about it. And I know some of you don't understand English perfectly. That's no problem. Don't worry about it. Even if you don't understand everything, it's important to get your ears and your eyes used to English. The next thing is a little bit difficult. People ask me this all the time. Making friends. Making friends who speak English can be quite difficult sometimes, I know, but it's very important. And this is the real reason why we're studying English, right? So we can communicate with other people. In Tokyo or in Japan, I know it can be really hard to find foreigners to speak to or actually make friends who are fluent in English. If I were you, I would avoid places like Hub or the Club. Even dating apps can be a little bit strange when it comes to learning. The places I recommend are craft beer bars, because a lot of the customers are regular customers, so you can see the same people again and again. And the staff, because the beer is coming from usually America or Canada, a lot of the staff understand English and you can talk with them as well. Some other things that you could do if you don't drink are go to sports meetups. A lot of my students go to these sports meetups with foreign people. And usually after they have some kind of nomikai or they have some kind of dinner, and that's your chance to speak English and make foreign friends. Of course, you can make friends in cafes as well. The places you'll find foreigners the most in Tokyo are Akasaka, Omotesando, and Roppongi. If it's in a cafe, don't be afraid to talk to people. If you go up to them and speak English to them, they'll be pretty happy. I would be happy. I'm sure my mom, when she was in Japan, would have been happy. We're not going to judge your English. We'll just be excited to speak in our native language. The last place to find foreigners or find native speakers is in Asakusa. This is a really good point because it's super easy. All you have to do is go up to couples or go up to groups of tourists and ask them, would you like me to take your picture? Or, you guys look great. Do you want me to take a picture? And just from that, probably in 2 hours, you could meet 100 different groups of people and you have 100 different chances to have English conversations for free. So just become everyone's private photographer for the day and you can become a fluent English speaker. Just go to Asakusa. There's so many people there, trust me. The last thing is find a teacher. I know it's expensive, but find a teacher you can take lessons with one-on-one. I offer private lessons and I think students need about 3 months of private lessons to really know what they need to learn, which direction they should go, and what level you are. It's really difficult to know your English level. For me, I don't even know my Japanese level. So I need a teacher to tell me, hey, you need to go this direction. So spend the money. I know it can be expensive, but just 3 months, one-on-one lessons, you can get a lot of feedback, a lot of practice, and then you can continue studying on your own. Anyways, guys, just remember, English is a tool for communication. It is not something that we have to study all the time. We can just use it to communicate, to make friends. Don't forget, it's not studying. Do your best with it. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.